Hello, crafty friends. I'm Yvonne with Amjur, On My Mind, Journaling and More. Welcome to my craft room. Today I am going to work in my June signature. I've been this week doing some Christmas projects. It's hard to believe, but it's really just around the corner. I'm sure there'll be a lot of Christmas in July things going on, but usually I try to do a couple of Christmas projects this time every year. It seems like I have less and less time every year, but I really liked this. I've been kind of going through some of the stuff that I've had sitting on my desk, and this was a Father's Day card that my granddaughter gave to my husband. It's so cute, but it's too big for this my 365 journal this year, because this is Reader's Digest size. So I think I'm gonna hang on to this. I'll find a use for it at some point, or maybe I'll put it in my summer stuff that I'll save for next year. But I think it's so cute, because one thing I do know is next year's journal will be at least slightly bigger, and this should fit. So it's kind of a shame. I really wish I could figure out how to get it in there. All right. One thing I did this week was I'm going to take this off. We'll talk about that in a minute. I had Friday off, which is something new for my company this year to celebrate Juneteenth. So it was lovely. I felt like I had an extra day, because it was something I wasn't really planning on. So I was home. I didn't really go anywhere special, but it was a lazy day where I just kind of went with the flow and did, whatever came about, and it was lovely. My granddaughter had her drama camp, so I dropped her off, and then I there's a little tea shop that I sometimes go to, and I'll take my journal. Usually it's just my reflection journal that I take. But this time I packed up this, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. That's why it's separate from the rest of the journal, the great big accordion fold journal. And so it worked out. I didn't really get much done. I did the journaling on the front cover about the treehouse, which it gave me the time to kind of sit and reflect on that. But then as I was going through, I did this page there. And then when I got to like June 3rd, I got stuck because I didn't have any journaling spots with me that I could glue down and do any journaling with. Let's see here. I knew I just wanted to journal on top of this. This is a magazine page, so I needed a Sharpie, otherwise everything will smear. So I couldn't do that. So there were some things missing in this little travel kit that I put together. So I'll have to try to remember that if I ever get a chance to do something like that again. But it was lovely, and I'll do it again when I ever get a chance to do it again. I did this page. There really wasn't much going on this day, so I just kind of just leisurely, as I was sipping my coffee, journaled that. I think that was really it. I just kind of went to the pages that I could work on while I was there. Let's see. Yeah, I think that was it. So, but again, it was a new change of scenery, and it was just lovely. Like I said, I'll do it again. So, today I'm going to just continue working through, and I'll get as far as I get. But you saw You're Kind of a Big Deal card. I was going through some cards this week that were given throughout the year, and I was cutting them apart and saying, oh, I could use this for this or this for that. One of the cards had this wooden overlay. Now, I've already broken a little piece off of it because it's kind of fragile. But, I mean, it was the cardstock it was backed on seemed to protect it. So, it made me think of this prompt, wood and packaging, and that's wood / packaging, so I guess I can interpret that any way I want. But this is like, what would you say, that balsam wood, and somebody laser cut it out. So I am going to put it on this front cover. It kind of accentuates the tree house, and you can still see that it's the tree house, and I can still fit my journal card inside. And then up here, the laser cut intricate pieces would mimic, you know, how a treehouse would look in real life because it's tucked in behind the leaves. So I thought that was just perfect to fulfill this prompt. So I'm going to go for it and hope that it doesn't break and crack like it did down here. This happened when I was trying to pull it off of the card itself. So that leaves me with, what type of glue do I want to use? This might not be strong enough, and I bought this one and it had this nice fine laser tip. I used it yesterday on one of the Christmas projects I was working on, and I had a hard time getting it out. I think I'm going to use art glitter glue. I've never used it on anything other than paper. So this could be, let me see, I've got this rubber band on here. This may be completely off. Adheres to hard plastic, metal, feathers, wood, shells, canvas. So maybe it will work. In any case, this I think is going to be my best option out of what I have. I'm sure there's a better option, but this is what I have available to me. So here goes. The problem is I probably need to work pretty fast because art glitter glue dries fairly quickly. And this is that precision tip, but I'm not good at this. My hand, I think, shakes because I'm holding the glue so tightly. And I can't really lift up the corners, you know, after I get it down. I get one shot at this. And I wish you could say, oh, you missed a spot here, you missed a spot there. No. But, well, okay, I think that's going to do it. And hopefully this will work out. There's a little bit of a bend in it, in the balsam wood. So I'm just going to hold it a little bit on the edges. I wish my hand was bigger, see? Because it's popping up right now. Usually on paper, that art glitter glue kind of sticks pretty quickly. It's popping up here, popping up here. Probably needed to have something heavy to put down with it. Seems like it's sticking on this side pretty good, but there's the bend over here where I've got so much stuck into the journal. But I'm going to leave it for now. I think on this side it's sticking okay. And so when this kind of dries more, maybe I'll come through and try to get that fine tip over there a little more. Okay, now I've got this to put back in there and my prompt somewhere. I'm going to trim this up. Okay. It's a little later in the day and I've already been outside with the dog and he's already back to the door. So he may get frustrated and want to go back outside, but he's going to have to wait. So if he does his little trying to get my attention thing, I apologize. Okay. Yeah, see, it's popped up right here. But I don't want to force it right now to give this side a good chance to stay down. So I think that's super cute. I love it. The first prompt done in my journal. All right. Excuse me. It's still morning. It's later than I'm used to. But let's see. Do I have the date written on that? The 3rd, yes. All right, so this is the page I started at the tea shop, and I didn't have any journal spots. So I found one when I got home, but then I never got back to my journal. Excuse me. I'm going to put this one in there. So when I go back through, when I actually sit down to do the actual journaling, I'll have a space that I can do that in. And it kind of blends in pretty good with that floral background that I like. And I had glued this down, but I pulled it back up. Oh my goodness, my voice. I wonder how... I'm so sorry. I was trying to figure out a way to mute while I'm recording, but I am not that sophisticated. Okay, so now that's glued back down. Give it a second to grab. Okay. Yeah, okay, and there's my little Post-it. And I'm just going to, instead of saving this receipt, I'm going to just jot something down here. Okay. And I can get rid of that. All right, so I'm not going to do the journaling. I'm just trying to get things glued down. So here's a picture, and here's my note. weekend, my granddaughter just had she had a doctor's appointment. I'm going to trim this up a little bit. And then we went and got some ice cream and walked along the waterfront. She still likes to go see the turtles. Something about, there's an estuarium very close by. It's the town I work in, and she's still there. There's a boardwalk that you can walk along, and in the spring, well, in all summer, honestly, the turtles come back up. I think they hibernate in the mud or something? I'm not sure. But, okay. And then I'll just take a Sharpie and journal all around the images. And because I like this, what if the shorelines of life are invitations to more of your unfolding story. So I like the water. I want to be able to see that. Now, oops, I better put this back. This page, the third, this is the fourth, this is the graduation, not graduation, her moving up ceremony, going into middle school next year. So, I think I have quite a few pictures. And remember, this is only Reader's Digest size. So I think I need some sort of tip-in. And I liked these books, like tossing the books around. So that will make a cute little tip-in. But I need something, this is a magazine. I need something to back that with. I'll set this aside and work on this. Which way does it go? I guess it doesn't really matter. Now I just need a backer. And I have two options over here. These are, I pulled out two colors. For June. Oh, I guess I've used the second color I pulled out. So this may be my only option, although I have this. So when I look at the background page, I think either one will work. But I think I'm going to use this one. And now I want to see how many pictures I have. So I know I want to back this. And I know I have 1, 2, ooh, quite a few. 3, 4. Whew. So I'm definitely, this may be too small. I'm just thinking out loud on how much of this I can actually use. I'm going to try something. I hope I didn't just mess it up. But I'm going to go for it anyway. So I guess it'll just be, now maybe I'll write something up here, down here. Okay. I skipped over this page at the tea shop I went to because honestly I was like, I don't even know how to do this. There's so many pictures and things. So, but I guess the only way to, what do they say? The only way out or to make the page is through. So we're going through to make the grade. Now, do I want to flip this over? If I do, will I see anything on the back? No. Okay. Now trim. I have my camera pretty close so you can see all this happening. I think I had it, the last video I had it zoomed out way too much. Now, this is my flip out. And did I really mess that up? I did. It's gonna have to go this way. So, I'm gonna cut it about here, here, and here. I'm not very good at this. Why does it feel like there's something under that? I don't know. My line is way up there. Is that not straight? It's as straight as it's gonna be. So I'll just erase my second little line. Oh, look at that. I can erase the paper. The coloring on the paper. This is really old scrapbook paper. Okay. So it gives me a kind of tip in. Doesn't really matter which way I put it in there. Maybe I can tuck some photos in. I love this one. If you've noticed, I've given up trying to cover up my granddaughter. It's like, I know that you really can see anything anyway, but look at that picture of her walking away with my husband. Walking away from middle school. I think I like that one right there. Whoops. Oh no. Okay. Whoops, I don't want it upside down. There. Oh my goodness. I got that glue right there. Alright. Now I've got a tip in. And I've got all this space and all this space. I liked this. Make way. I think I knocked you, sorry. That's probably going to take up too much of the space because let's just see. Let's just see what we've got to work with. There's a lot of stuff I've thrown in here that maybe I don't even need to. Funny story about this, Lordy. When she got home from school that day, Me and my daughter were going to meet her and to do these party poppers. We couldn't get them to work. And the directions, we're twisting clockwise, and directions clearly say, rotate by arrow direction, which is counterclockwise. So the whole thing was spoiled. I might want to write about that. We'll see. Maybe. I wonder if I make a pocket. And then I can tuck these things in. That's an idea. Do I want the pocket here? Maybe this can be my pocket. I'm going to make a pocket. I kind of don't want to use that cardstock, but I do want something. This was an envelope. I've never seen a security envelope with this teal color. And now I'm like, oh, do I want to use that as a pocket? What am I really going to save it for? Just use it. Yeah, just use it. Okay, so this newspaper or magazine got curled on the edge. So I have to make sure it's sticking out. Okay. Here's my pocket. And I'll probably write on this, make way for middle schoolers or something. We had to have the boots. She said that she wanted to fit in. She wanted a new look for middle school. So here we go. Middle school changes things, doesn't it? Okay. I missed the corner anyway. All right. That just gives it a little bit more sturdiness. Yeah, I'm making progress on this page. Like I said, I kind of probably could have done this at the tea shop, but I really wasn't sure how to go about it. So this is real live journaling, where I just literally don't have any kind of plan. I think I want to round these corners. Hopefully this is square. Looks pretty good. I struggle with this corner rounder. I have another one, but it's not, I don't see it. Okay. I can put that in there. Oh, and I just saw something. I don't know if you remember. Why won't this open? I have a drawer right here. Oh, this candle. Remember I bought this tape. That's what I can use to put that tip in. Okay, let me finish this pocket. Do I want anything else? No. So, yesterday was June 21st. We took a bunch of my granddaughter's friends to the pool. Well, I did. My husband went down to the camper. which worked out. He's doesn't want to be around a bunch of little girls, but they had so much fun. I promised her we would do a pool party, for graduating, or let's call it moving up. It's not graduating. And so we went and we got pizza. We brought it to the pool. I cut up a watermelon, great big cooler of water, sunscreen, everything. And we stayed there 2 hours, 2.5 hours. In that time, I was like, okay, you guys have to reapply sunscreen. Right, this needs a backer. I made them reapply, and they still got burnt. Every one of them. And so I was like, all the moms were nice about it. But I felt bad. I didn't want them to get burnt, but that's how strong the sun is, and you don't realize it when you're in the pool, I guess, because you don't get hot. But they had so much fun. It was fun. I just don't like that they got sunburned. All right. I just want a little edge around this one. And I'll write that little story about how my daughter and I are not coordinated enough to figure out how to do party poppers. Lost my scissors. I buried them. Here we go. Okay. You would think I would use a paper cutter to make straight lines, but truly it's a junk journal. I'm using trash to make a journal card. And why not? Let me round the corners on this. Yeah, I can do that. Okay. Put that in there. I'm making headway. Yeah, make way for middle school, something or other. Now, yes, I really like that. Let's see what else I have. I'm going to use this. I had cut this off. This was just some of the decorations. Is that ridiculous to have that in there? Maybe. I'm not going to glue it down. What else do I have? Just getting started. Yeah, I think we cut this out together. Because she's not really graduating. She literally is just getting started. Sometimes I just like the process of putting stuff together. And when you clip all these little things and you look at your pile of stuff, you think, it's never going to work out. It's too much stuff. And then you're like, this goes here, and somehow it works out. And, some things get tossed. I forgot I didn't realize I didn't have this down. This is the date tile. Maybe I'll put it down here. Lift that up a little before it dries. Okay. I didn't realize that wasn't down. So let's get that down before I forget. Not sure why it wasn't down. Okay. Get this back down. That's how I end up with glue all over my fingers. Okay. Trying to think what else is going on. Not a lot. It's just, let me rephrase that. A lot. But as far as journaling, not a lot. I put together 2 journal covers for Christmas that I'll probably put in my Etsy shop. Let's see. Made the grade. Let me see if I can trim this out while I'm talking. So I will post those sometime this week. I don't have them on my desk here, or I would show you. I'm trying to get my Etsy shop stocked. I don't sell a lot on Etsy. Etsy's fees are kind of through the roof, but I honestly right now don't have time to research any other way. So I sell enough. I have some journals that I put here locally. But I guess my ultimate goal with this, let's talk about life for a little bit while I'm trimming out, is I just had a birthday, and this was the birthday where I was going to be able to leave my job that I currently have, and not old enough to retire, so not collect retirement benefits or anything, but we had a plan to have all types of things paid off, and then I was going to get just a job. I mean, I would still have to work, but not nearly as stressful. So, life happens, and there's life changes that go on. And so, long story short, that obviously is not happening. So, but with all that talk of part-time jobs and paying bills off and things, and then ultimately retiring, I'm working on, what do you do when you retire? Yes, you retire from your job, but what do you do with your time? I mean, there's volunteer work, you're going to probably spend, maybe 6 months kind of taking a breather, like, I don't have to get up with an alarm clock, this, that, and the other. But there will come a time that you just have to do something I'm going to toss that, for peace of mind. So, this was what my plan was. I was going to do this journaling. I'm just about covering up all these books. How about if I use it here? Sell a little bit if I could, and if I didn't, it didn't matter. There's something on that picture. Oh, great. Well, I can always reprint it. But literally, there's something on it. So I'm not going to glue that one down. These are her besties. I probably shouldn't leave that out too long, especially since there's other kids. So this is my plan. This is what I want to do, and just kind of see where it goes. It's kind of replacing, I think I've told you I had a blog. It's kind of replacing that. So, is what it is. This is how all this came about. And I enjoy it. For whatever reason, it gives me a little outlet. It gives me peace when, my job is very stressful. And so you need that outlet. And so this is it. This is what I enjoy doing. I would do this anyway. And then, I had opened that Etsy store, I don't know, maybe a year ago. And it's I don't have very much out there. I've sold a few. So if you're watching and you've purchased, I really do appreciate it. Now you know the story behind how it all came about. Yeah. So, I don't need this. I don't know why I printed it on cardstock and as a picture. I guess I'm just going to toss that one. Oh, and this one's on the wrong day. Anyway. Let's see. That one's cute. So we'll have this one. I'm just trying to place pictures. It might not work out. Oh, I forget I have this side too. All right. Let's regroup. Am I talking about the outfit here? I am. Can I get this up to tuck that picture in behind it? What am I doing? Well, that is glued down. There we go. So the story on this page, I'll have to do a little repair job, is really about the outfit, I think. She had to have the right look. So that was a long-winded way to say I'm getting ready to post a couple of things on Etsy. And Christmas related. Okay. And so they're what they are. Oh, I should have them here to show you. Plus I'm not very good at marketing this stuff. It's the time factor, right? So, get under there. There. It's just the journal covers. So you would create your own journal. I've sold a few of these where it's just the cover. I've created the cover with something I had on hand or found, or maybe I created one for myself and had extra, made another one. Well, this was a terrible job. But, again, this is real-time journaling. Good as new. There we go. These are out of a decoration we used, and it's thick cardstock, and there's not a good way to peel them. So I peeled one to try it, and it ripped it all to shreds. So, okay. This page is taking longer than I thought it would, but I'm happy about it. I'm happy that I'm getting started. Flip it this way. And now the problem here is, remember, this journal, this signature is not bound together. It's just held together with this because I'm going to bind it into the accordion fold, 365 accordion fold journal at the end of the month. So, but now saying that, I can still make this happen. Let me see what I have attached on the other side of this page. What is here? So the beauty of doing it this way is I can pull it out. Look at that. And I can get this fold out done. I just have to be mindful that I can't go too close to the edge, because I need that fold. How about that? Okay. Let's use this. I always do this in a couple of different pieces. I'm just not good at lining it up properly. And it doesn't, when you get it down, it really doesn't show. Let's see. There's my tip in. And so on the last video, or the one before that, I talked a little bit about, okay, it still works. I'm already thinking about what I want to do for next year. And I am really, truly leaning towards this style. Let me get this back in. Simply because of what I just did. You can slide it in and slide it out and then slide it right back in. Where's it coming through? Right here. Get it right. Oh, it'll center up once I do this. How about that? That's perfect, and it's still in there pretty good. Let's check a couple more pages and make sure they didn't get out of whack. No. Yes, that just kind of really makes me lean heavily towards this travel style journal, simply because of that. So, do I need to put some glue back down there? Yes. Right there. And I probably need that towel again. Don't look at how dirty and nasty it is. It's just dried paint from projects I work on. And there. All right. I still have a bunch of pictures to get in here. Well, you know what? I could make that a little pocket too. I'm gonna do it. And then looking at the time, let's see, I want to do it a pocket. So we'll do it like here, here, and here. So we really didn't get much done today, but thank you for stopping in and journaling with me. I hope you find it helpful, get some ideas on what to use in your journal, even if you have this tiny space. Remember, this is Reader's Digest size, so the pages are pretty small. So take that when you put your journal together, keep that in mind. This is my preferred size. This is my it's a junk journal, but it's more memories, and I think we've done a couple of pages in here together. I haven't worked in this in a long time. I just haven't had any inspiration, and I think it's the time of year because we're so busy on other things. This would have been something, this treehouse would have been something I would have put in here, but so I did some reflection journaling on the back of this card. So see how it's a little bit bigger. Keep in mind what size journal you want. I don't like the bigger ones, the big ones. I tried that in a planner this year and ended up back in a smaller planner. So I know my size, which is just is a little bigger than this, and also I'm already planning out next year. I believe it will be. Maybe is this the time to plan that stuff out? It will be the travel journal style. I think I still want to have the whole year in one book, so it'll be a combination of travel journal, accordion fold, and then even though this is going to make it probably bigger than what this year's is, I do want 2 pages per day. And so maybe that looks like on bigger months, like June would be a big month. Of course, the Burr months would be big months. Maybe those are the only months I do a 2-page spread instead of this. This one not only is small, but it's 1 page per day. So I end up having to do a lot of tip-ins, which it expands that journal anyway. So put that picture in there, and then I'll play around with how to spread these around. So there we go. That's literally 1 page done, but this was a big one, so I love it. Like I said, it just works out. Even when you have a ton of stuff, like here's my next hurdle, is I have a ton of stuff. It seems to work out. So I will see you next time. Happy journaling. I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.